Fresh negotiations in Rome on Tuesday against the backdrop of a regional escalation between Washington and Tehran. The two countries, officially at war for decades, have reached a framework agreement on the 26th of June after 5 rounds of negotiations in Washington, which were aimed at ending the war between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah and paved the way for peace. But Hezbollah rejected the agreement, which calls for the group's disarmament and whose implementation is set to begin with Israeli withdrawal from the 2 pilot zones in southern Lebanon. My colleague Ajay Jandyal with us on the broadcast. Ajay, take our viewers through the details.
Yes, now after Iran and American talks, we did into the fresh wave of attacks which is going on over there between the two. Now, fresh input clearly says that now and Israel is going for the talks, and how this is going to help them to pacify the situation or turn off this situation which is taking place between the two. That has to be seen, but according to the sources, Lebanon and Israel are holding fresh negotiations in Rome on Tuesday, and against the backyard of a regional escalation between the Washington and the Tehran. So what is going to happen, that has to be seen, but the two countries, officials at war for decades, reached a framework agreement on June 26 after 5 rounds of negotiation in Washington, which were armed, which were aimed at ending the war between Israel and the Lebanon.
All right, Ajay, stay on with me. Some more news coming in. A statement by the Foreign Ministry of Qatar has condemned the attack targeting 2 UAE oil tankers as they transited the Strait of Hormuz, describing it as a serious violation of the safety of international navigation, a direct threat to global energy supplies and a clear breach of international law. The continuation of such unacceptable attacks represents a dangerous escalation that threatens regional security and stability and undermines efforts to promote regional peace and stability. Qatar has reiterated its call to Iran to immediately cease any practices that undermine regional security, refrain from jeopardizing the security of international navigation and global energy supplies, fully comply with international law and United Nations Security Council Resolution 2817, and further take urgent measures to prevent the recurrence of such attacks. Ajay, take our viewers to the details.
Yes, a statement by the Foreign Ministry of Qatar, condemning the attack targeting 2 UAE oil tankers as they, transited the Strait of Hormuz. They're describing it as a serious violation of the safety of the international navigation, a direct threat to the global energy suppliers, and a clean breach of international law. The continuation of such unacceptable attacks, which basically represent a dangerous escalation that threaten regional security and the stability and undermine efforts to promote regional peace and stability. So ministry said that this is a clear violation of international laws, and that will not be acceptable. It reiterated Qatar's call on Iran to immediately cease fire and practices that undermine regional security and refrain from the jeopardize the security of international navigation and global energy supply.
All right, Ajay, stay on with me. We're further learning that Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu has also now issued a statement on his social media. He said it's his message to Iran's leaders. He said, and I quote, "Don't count on there being silence if you attack us. Don't count on a replay. It will be a different broadcast, one far more powerful. Listen in." Okay. This is the latest statement coming in by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He's issued the statement on his social media. He says it's his message to the leaders of Iran. And amid the renewed attacks, he said that do not count on there being silence if you continue the attacks or if Iran directly attacks Israel. And on that note, viewers, a very short break.